This is Michael Serices with Michelangelos Services, Inc. It is February 10th, 2026. We are performing a video sewer inspection at 23023 Hatteras Street, Woodland Hills, California, 91367. And we are at the front of the property. There is a 4-inch ABS plastic mainline cleanout, and there's French doors here. There's also, looks like French doors next to us. This is the front of the property, and front door is over to our left if you're facing the house from the street. And this is our mainline sewer cleanout. We're going to zero out our camera monitor right at the opening so that we get a good accurate reading. Kind of tough, we're in the bushes, so we got a little bit of camera cable out, just trying to get over to here. We're going to insert our camera cable, and it's fairly deep. Looks like we've got somewhere around 5 to 6 feet before we hit the bottom. And it is ABS plastic pipe and fittings. Got a joint here, and those are rolled. That's a rolled joint where it appears to have been pipe bursted, pipe pulled. They are fused together. These joints are fused together. They're not glued together. So now we should have a long length of pipe probably from that point going all the way out toward the street. Have at least 20 feet generally between fittings. Coming up to a fitting now. And again, you can see where those ends on the piping are kind of rolled over. They are fused and melted together at 500 degrees. And this is a pretty solid sewer line. This piping, somebody has come up with a time that this should last, a period, saying that this type of piping should last approximately 200 to 250 years. I don't know how somebody came up with that, but that's what they put in the books. It's fused together, it becomes one piece of pipe, and it's very durable. It's flexible if need be, it can give a little bit if there's earth movement. It's got a memory. It's a fantastic new invention that came out approximately 30 years ago. It's another joint. Everything appears to be in fair and maintainable condition at this time. Fair and maintainable means it's as good as it gets unless it's brand new and never been used. What we're going to do is we're just going to run all the way out to the city sewer, check everything, then we're going to go in the house and we're going to run water. We're going to run some water for a while, then when we pull back we will see if there's any dips or any bellies in the piping, any issues that we can't see without having the water running. We've got a very large offset right here. You see we're going to drop down into the pipe right there. This was put together with couplings. And as you can kind of see at the top, there's like a white line. That white line is actually that's the pipe. That's the outside of the piping. And that outside of the piping is dropped down approximately an inch from what I can see. And then we drop down into the pipe. That pipe should be lined up. they're making a turn, so they use the coupling, and from what I can see, they probably use what they call a Fernco coupling, or some type of coupling that does not hold that piping very secure and in place. They should be using MR type of bands that are very, very strong. That's what's supposed to be used. This is ABS plastic in the turn, from what we can tell. They transitioned to ABS plastic. As you can see, the next joint, that is not rolled, that's glued. When they make turns, they cannot fuse it together. So there's an issue here. We're going to locate this area and we're going to mark this area out. I'm going to pause for a moment. Okay, we've located this area out in the parkway, and we did put a flag in the grass area at approximately 8 feet deep. So now we're going to continue to push out past this offset. As you can see, the face of the adjoining pipe, you can see the white line is dropped down about an inch from where it should connect at the top. And then we go in, you can't see the bottom, but you can see here the pipe is dropped down, and you can see the camera will even drop down because it wasn't attached properly with the proper coupling, and it just settled and dropped down. Now we're dropping even deeper, making a turn, and these joints are also glued, so these are ABS plastic joints. The turn where they connected was ABS plastic. You can't glue that to the trenchless piping, to the SDR piping. So it had to be joined with a coupling. Now we're going into vitreous clay. We're increasing right here, which I believe is probably right at the street. I can locate this later. We're at 72 feet. And we're going into 6-inch vitreous clay. Got a lot of paper right here. I have a feeling we probably got a big root ball right there. As you can see, the roots. There's a large root ball right there. And there's another offset in the vitreous clay. So we have some huge roots right here. We're going to go in and look at the rest of the pipe if we can. We're going to go in and look at the rest of the pipe. This is the vitreous clay lateral in the street. This is also the homeowner's responsibility. And we have more root intrusion. Another joint here. And wants to cloud the camera. We have a lot of roots right here. I don't want to pull back too much because I'm not going to be able to see. And you have a very large offset right here, which is going into the saddle for the city sewer connection. And there's the city sewer connection. So here's the city sewer saddle connection. We're going to locate this and we're going to mark this area in the street. So we're going to pause for a moment. Okay, we've located this area in the street. This is the connection to the city sewer. You can see the water running through at the bottom. And this is the saddle area. That's the saddle fitting. And I marked that at approximately 10 feet deep in the street. And you have a large offset. And also looks to be cracked and broken. You can see it at about the 1230 area on the camera monitor. Kind of difficult to see. And that crack goes toward the city sewer, down toward the city sewer. Pretty good sized crack, and it's shifted quite a bit. You can't see it because we're in a turn. Difficult to see, but you can see it when we pull back. You can see where that fitting is shifted quite a bit at the top. You can see the whole face of the fitting or the pipe, and you should not see that. It should be smooth and aligned. So we've got a pretty good crack in the saddle, shifted, and then coming back toward the property we have quite a bit of roots. We're going to go ahead and run some water. We have another offset there. We're going to go back out to the saddle. We're going to run some water, and then we're going to double check the line to make sure that we don't have any big bellies in it. Without the water running, we can't tell for sure. So we're going to pause for a moment. Okay, we've located everything, and we just ran water, so we're going to take a look at the line now. Still got some water running. We got a major offset at the saddle, and the saddle's cracked and broken. We have root intrusion at the next joint and an offset. This is the 6-inch vitreous clay lateral. You can see there's quite a bit of roots in here. Needs to be hydrojetted, especially here. I can't see a good part of the joint. I don't know if there's a break or how the roots are getting in, and maybe just getting in through the joint and maybe able to be hydrojetted. This line will probably have to have a top hat liner and more than likely a 4.5 millimeter sewer liner installed at the same time. If the line's in decent enough condition that we can do that, we'd have to see exactly what the joints look like, make sure it's not broken to a point where we can't do that. So this does need to be hydrojetted. Pulling back, got more root intrusion. We had some very heavy root intrusion in this area. Had a pretty large offset from what we can see here. Have a shift in the pipe and very large root intrusion that we can't really see the joint. We can't tell. It may be a break, but we can't see it. More than likely there is some type of a break or something with the roots as heavy as they are. And now we transition right there in the parkway back to the ABS plastic piping. And there's a couple joints. Camera's hanging a little bit. We're going uphill. Coming back, and this is where you have that large offset and large shift, as you can see it. We drop down into the pipe right there because that shifted about an inch. That white line again should be at the top of the screen, matching up with the other piece of pipe, but it's not. It's dropped down quite a bit. Now we're in trenchless piping, which is fused together, and all of it appeared to be in fair and maintainable condition, which is as good as it gets, unless it's brand new and never been used. Joints look good. Everything looks good. I wanted to see, after we ran water, we ran quite a bit of water, to see if we had any bellies, any dips or bellies in the line where it may cause a problem. But it all looks to be in decent condition. As I said, fair and maintainable, which should cause no problems whatsoever in this plastic line. Once that offset joint is fixed, another joint, those are rolled joints, those are fused together. And they have long lengths, have 20-foot lengths of piping fused together. Coming back, and now we're going to be coming up our clean out. Got another joint right there that's kind of shifted a little bit as well, but that can cause an issue at the bottom of the clean out. Hopefully it does not. And that will conclude our video sewer inspection through the mainline cleanout. So we're going to pause for a moment. And that will conclude our video sewer inspection for the day. Thank you.